Hello, Jose. Great to have you. Hey there, Demon Monastery. Great to have you as well. Devin. Everything is well. I am having difficulties managing doing the TikTok and YouTube lives daily, but that's because I've had a lot of errands to run lately. Won't be like that much longer. Putting your shit on sale really keeps your inbox flooded. I've got a long to-do list. I think I did 5 services yesterday, and I still it's still long. Um, Hello there, Jay the Sage. I'm doing well. Jose summoned Blair yesterday, and the day before yesterday, he called on Beelzebub. He's been working hard. I'm glad to hear it, man. I'm glad to hear it. I hope your work bears fruit. The TikTok lives are harder because I have to avoid uh, using curse words. I can't smoke cigarettes on camera. I literally, like, what I do on, like, TikTok lives, I'll have little e-cig. I'll, like, every few minutes, every, like, 10 minutes or so. Hey, Mellow Sloth. Jared. Yeah, I smoke reds. These are Marlboros. Random question. How was that Conjuring movie? Very good, very good. But if you haven't seen, like, the ones before it, it might not be as good for you. Samael says, hey VK, your dad found a portal underneath a Russian bunker in Cuba that's buried under a mountain protected by hundreds of bees around the portal. Any idea what that's about? Could be anything. Guessing a witch was staying there for a bit. I know that some people try to use. I've seen, like, far right Satanists talk about trying to use military bases as uh, anchors for aeonic sorcery or macrocosmic alchemy. Yeah, I have heard them called cowboy killers. I'm not a cowboy though, so I don't have to worry. Uh, Jose says his ability to sense the presence of spirits is not as good as it used to be anymore. Is there a reason why that's the case? You could easily just be doing chakra meditation less frequently. Something like that. For a while, I got so focused on evocation and stuff like that that I was, like, neglecting chakra work and regular divination. And then my psychic abilities started diminishing because of it. My face is itchy. Mellow Sauce says, I swear I started doing my chakra meditations and I felt my gifts coming back. See? See? Odd. Maybe it's psychological then. Hey, Asparum. Chris says, hey, VK, for the last couple months I have no, not been interested in magic at all after 5 years. Now I'm trying to get back into it. Any tips? Start small with daily devotional practices. Maybe connect to your higher self and see what you should focus on for now. Mellow Sloth said he did a strong 3 days of chakra work and started seeing results. Awesome. Happy birthday, Estparum. So on your birthday, any type of spell you cast is going to be more potent. So the answer is literally anything you want. Oh, and happy birthday. I had two different people recommend the anime Lord of Mysteries, like in a short sequence, like two unrelated people. One who's really close with me, and one's like a longtime fan. If they both think I'll like it, then they can't be wrong. Jimmy Guinness thinks it's common to lose gifts around teens or 20s and it comes back later. Yeah, people get, I don't know, socialized not to be psychic, you know? Melisloth says that Lord of Mysteries is actually really good Chinese anime. I didn't know it was Chinese. I haven't checked it out yet, but I'm going to. Hello there, Lena. Stracciatella. That's a cool last name, but I don't know what it means. Melisloth never had any gifts as a kid until I stepped in and started developing them. I did exhibit some gifts as a kid, but I got socialized into not having them. Uh, so I literally, for the first while, thought I wasn't psychically gifted when I first got into this stuff. How's my night going? It's going good. As for me having plans tonight, I have more work to do for clients. I've got to do the Negrescent Ritual of Beauty for somebody, Vampire's Boon for somebody else. Oh, I got to do a hex tonight, too. Lena says I'm not Italian, I'm Mexican, in response to one of the other chatters. Yeah, it does. That did sound Italian, but to be fair, I think those are both love languages. Jose didn't have any gifts either as a kid. He didn't start tapping into his abilities until around 3 years ago. Well, I'm glad you finally got into it. Hello there, Ignis Persephorons. I know Persephorons probably means persisting, but I've decided to believe that your name means pervert fire. And I will not be convinced otherwise under any circumstances. I am being wrong on purpose. Do spirits even ever step in and tell you not to perform a service? Sometimes. It's not that common, though. Seeing a bunch of heart emojis. Hello there, Wolfie. You know, someone used to call me Wolfie because I appeared as a wolf in her dreams, like shape-shifted into one. Is that a blanket on my couch? Yes. I have to keep the true secrets of the couch current hidden. Is there any service I deny? Well, there's some types of rituals that I don't offer. I'm not going to force anybody to date one of my clients. Roofies are cheaper anyways. Blasphemy against Lord Couch. Jim McGinney says Spanish, Italian, and Portuguese are highly mutually intelligible. So I've heard. Locke says you don't really, in his opinion, you don't really lose gifts. Other people can block them unconsciously by their engagement with your energy if you're not psychically defensive. Interesting. Samael says, is there a reason Tritalaton visited me when I went vampiric for the first time on my Saturn's return? Well, Tritalaton, the man with the hat, is attributed to Saturn, so him coming to you on your Saturn return would make sense. Jose says, I had an out-of-body experience once and shape-shifted into a snake. Nice. Esparm says, why are wolves so predominant in black metal, magic, etc. circles? Well, they're one of the they're one of the designated cool animals alongside lions. Also, the pertinence of theories of werewolves in media probably has something to do with it. You know, wolves have just always been the designated badass animal. If you look at vampire mythology across the world, we see stories of, types of vampires that would shapeshift into like pigs instead. And you never ever see that in media because pigs aren't cool. Lena says, have I ever watched the movie Sofa Killer? No. Never heard of it, actually. Esparm got the feeling that Christianity is like a huge magic blocker for magic users. Yeah. Yes. Get a mini couch for your altar. Of course. Mello said it's a bird or a wolf for me. Demon Monastery says, is there a reason a psychic vampire will lose the desire to feed for certain lengths of time? Because they're satisfied. Book of the Witch Moon has a lot of cool shit on lycanthropy. I read that one back in the day. I think I read the Karanzan edition or something. One of my coven mates is a really big fan of it. Esparm says, I start loving myself and take things in this world that are mine. I hate being on the... Oh, how do you start loving yourself and take things in this world that are yours? You hate being on the sideline. There's a meditation you can use where basically visualize a pyramid of white energy in your heart chakra and focus on, emanating pure love and just remind yourself of all the things you love about yourself. I released that technique in a Black Lodge meditation on Patreon. Little PDF I have with meditative techniques. What's up, Cornwallis? Great to have you. Samael once saw and drained something from a neighbor that was coming down from a different dimension into them. What was that, a parasite? If it's from a different dimension, probably not. I don't know. Well, try to find something you like about yourself. Or do something that you're proud of so you can, do that. Focus on that. Hey, Eternal Flame. When I started getting powerful, did I ever have imposter syndrome? Not really, but I kind of started becoming really powerful when I was still in the public eye. So I had a lot of well, I guess I sort of did. I had a lot of people pedestalizing me disproportionately and trying to tear me down in errant ways. So my self-worth really fluctuated between insecurity and, ego problems. I think shadow work helped with that. Emotional healing spells helped with that. Yeah, Ignis is here. Est partum can go 120 hours without sleep. Let's see, that's probably around the same back when I was abusing an ADHD prescription. Do I have any big ritual holidays coming up? Well, December is coming. which means I have Saturnalia, Krampus Day, and a solstice. Oh, and Halloween, not to mention that. I have to make an adjustment to something about my path. Could I go into how I view devotion on this path? You find it is extremely powerful, but some people just focus on the knowledge only and don't really open their heart to the spirits. Um, well, you should find spirits who are trying to influence civilization and the human species in the same ways that you want to see society change. Um, and open portals to their dominion to try to quicken that change. Shaitan was big on that. Open portals to the spirits of the night side. Melosloth said that the live ritual I did on Saturnalia was crazy powerful. Glad to hear it. What are the benefits of initiating into the Saturnian current? Well, it makes you better at necromancy and curse work. It improves your natural psychic defenses. It makes Kundalini work easier. It makes any Saturn-related spirit, whether it's a demon or an angel, it strengthens your energetic resonance with them. It can also make really, really cool modifications to your astral body, to your spirit energy body, that are really great for combat. It makes you harder to curse. Stuff like that. It can make you more disciplined as well. Teach you how to set boundaries. Jim McGuinness says, I'm making jewelry for an occultist friend. What deities do y'all recommend working with to empower it? Whatever deities that guy works with. Awaken the Void says, any tips for juggling the mundane with spiritual life without being an introvert or solitary in practice? Trying to live life, but at the same time have spiritual sanctuary. I guess regular grounding, cleansing your energy body. Make sure you have good hobbies that you enjoy and indulge in regularly, stuff like that. I forgot to pour myself some water before I went live. That was dumb. Especially since I just finished doing mouth and tongue exercises to decrease snoring. I think I only snore when I fall asleep drunk, but just in case. Let's see. What is my take on Malji? I've actually never heard of that. I don't watch soccer. I can't lie to y'all. I don't really watch any sports. The only sport I liked watching was when I was growing up, and it was the UFC. Hello there, Sicario. How much does alcohol have an impact on your psychic abilities? I mean, when you're somewhat intoxicated, it can help you open yourself up to channeling and psychic perception, but if you're shit-faced, it can make you sloppy. That's about it. Sicario says, ever since I started demon magic, I've been getting sick more. Any advice? Exercise, healthy food. Ignis says, in the book of Enoch, Azazel taught humans how to make jewelry, so he would be good for empowering it. True. Fromstein met a graveyard guardian spirit when he visited a graveyard. Is it just me, or do they not like psychic vampires? Well, they want you to give an offering before you enter the graveyard. Usually a coin. You're supposed to like knock on a fence or a big tree or something that stands out and offer a little coin or something else to the guardian. Or it could be a personal bias that entity had. Eternal Flame opened a Lilith portal with one of my chants and has been working with her more lately. You've been working out too and got more physically attractive. Jawline looked better and all. Yeah, I have heard about working with Lilith making people more attractive, just gradually over time. Jose, I'm not doing that. Hey, Jeffrey. Have I encountered the DMT jester spirits? I've never done it, DMT, but I have seen the jesters a couple times. Um, the Duralgar actually gave me instructions to summon them without DMT that I've already posted on WordPress. How do you know when a chakra is really open? You'll feel it. I never liked Zeus. As for him being a dead god, that's a new theory to me. If you mean like death god, yeah, there was a chthonic cult of Zeus in Greece. Do you mean dead or death? Because when it comes to dead gods, there's a difference between killing a deity and keeping them dead. The real Apep was dead for a bit. Obviously, so were the Forbidden 13. They were all brought back. Sicario never did DMT, but it came to him once in a dream and was fucking with him. The spirit behind DMT showed Sicario certain shapes and numbers and said they were perfect. So that was cool. Interesting. What do I know about hoodoo? Nothing. As for recommended reading, my book recommendations are on my WordPress. Obviously, none of them are about hoodoo. Do I work with any Hindu deities? No. The only ones that Kali seems to like me, even though I have no calling to work with her. I think I'm supposed to work with Shani at some point. Has any number of infernal legions in control of the demons changed since the Ars Goetia was written? Probably. Plus, I think the demons have multiple simultaneous hierarchies, given that they are not bound by space and time in the way that we are. Then feels like Michael was a dark angel who became the face of the light as a spirit that overcomes his own dragon nature. Well, if he originated as a dark spirit, that would explain why he was the first one who started appearing to me regularly. As for Diabolos, I always saw that as a name for Satan. For Barbados, I haven't worked with him in a long time, but I've summoned him before, and I wrote an essay about him on WordPress. Javajoth, yes, I work with him a lot. AKA Havajoth, both names are correct. What are the benefits of those of receiving the Mark of Cain? I don't remember. It's been so long since I got it. Eternal Flame saw something about Zeus being dead and other entities taking his place. Hey, that's what happened with Apep for a while. That is interesting about Mozart. Oh, that's nice of you to support him. Carl Jung said if a god dies, a creature can bring them back through belief alone in the 7 sermons to the dead. The issue is the people who worship a deity kind of give them an insurance policy against death, and they'll often have avatars that can function independently of them that sort of anchor them to this reality. That's what happened with Apep. At the time that Apep got back, I thought I brought him back. I'm not sure whether or not I'm right. Could be a misinterpretation of what happened. How do I deal with incense smoke indoors? I just open the windows. If Odin is Thor, I wonder the relation of Christ and Thor. One is associated with the nail and the other with the hammer. The heroes definitely work together. I've never heard of Odin and Thor being the same. Good night, Aspartum. Asparum. Oh. If Odin is Yahweh, I don't think so. One of my local friends believes that Loki is the same god of the Bible, which would be funny. Ignis thinks that Thor is the same as Indra. I can neither confirm nor deny this. Hey, David Litz. Lena says Thor is Sukuna. Oh, wait, Sukuna's a real demon. I thought you were talking about Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen. Any thoughts on working with Heimdall? I have not approached him. I'm sure it's possible. Jim McGuinness is aware of a few dead gods that would be cool to bring back. Well, maybe they'll come back. It was the Spider Queen who killed the Forbidden 13 and then later brought them back of her own free will. I don't know how to describe what it's like to open a chakra, but you'll feel it. Hey, T-Man. If you didn't feel anything, then keep trying to open them. Maybe try different methods than before. The first method I tried to open my crown chakra didn't work no matter how many times I tried it. Then I switched to the hand position that I saw Aang use in Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it opened right up. Is the Aryamanic chakra system real compared to the traditional chakra system? I'm not familiar. If you mean Ford, I'm not a fan of his. Vin is finally over the O9A current. As well, this feeling there is more being human here than anything else. If anything, no matter how close the banality of this degenerate little town. More than God is beast. Yeah, the O9A current is not great. So I've said before publicly that the O9A is a man-made current that calls on pre-existent deities. Like Blackwood, N.D. Blackwood traced Noctulius back to northern Italy. I mistakenly said it came from Bavaria because I misremembered because I remembered my conversation with Blackwood incorrectly. But yeah, Noctulius comes from North Italy. And, Davkina comes from Mesopotamia, so on and so forth. The man-made current that the O9A uses to approach them really limits them. J.S. Garrett recently got hired to initiate someone into the current of Noctulius. And right as he was about to do the ritual, he heard a voice say, "Call VK." So he called me. And I answered, and he told me what he was about to do. I said, okay. It turned out he was about to use the O9A's sigil enchant, so I told him to use the sigil enchant that I channeled instead. Because I got that I got my sigil from the spirit. I did not make my own to force him to manifest a certain way. I got one that lets him manifest however he likes. Not that a current can really control Noctulius against his will. But Noctulius literally had Jesse call me so I could tell him to use the one I channeled instead of the O9A sigil, What's Euronymous like? Badass. Very death-related, obviously. He's romantically involved with Gargophius, to my understanding. Have I ever worked with Turiel? I think so. I think Turiel is one of the watchers I gave a technique for in invoking the Grigori on WordPress. How does fusing chakras affect Kundalini? It makes it easier to raise. Okay, Jared says that after one night of using the Nayar Lityas chant, the sacral chakra still feels closed. Try a different method. Um, I'm not sure if Noctulius is a name for Lucifuge. I'm not sure I agree with that. Lena says Noctulius is amazing. He always answers quickly, and her spells with him are so heavy. Awesome, awesome. I don't work with him as much as I should. Well, I pathworked him for a bit, but... I mean, if Nayar Lityas didn't work the first time, I would just go ahead and switch now. What do I think of Mark Allen Smith? Yeah, his original trilogy, the Queen of Hell and the rest of the original trilogy, those are the only of his books I've read so far. But yeah, I really, really like his work. Do I know of any goddesses from other pantheons that are the same as Lilith? Other than Lilitu, no. I don't equate Lilith with any other deities. I know some people think she's the same as Gillo and Lamashtu, but I don't agree. Lena has noticed that she works with deities for cycles. For example, right now, King Paimon is no longer ignoring her. That's normal. That's normal. Some say that Mary Magdalene was Lilith. I'm getting a no on that identification. I don't think Mary Magdalene is Lilith. Does does the non-spiritual type of crystal work in magic? Well, amphetamines intensify everything, so they can intensify spiritual endeavors, but I cannot in any capacity recommend the non-spiritual type of crystal. I've seen people tear themselves apart with that shit. Like literally a small dosage of like Vyvanse or Adderall should be all you need. And don't get addicted to that either. I was until my mid-20s. Ignis says that when he read a bit of the book Black Magic of Ahriman, he found a lot of parallels to what Amdusias is teaching him. Well, the reason that divs are more dangerous, there's two. One, it's much harder to find quality information about them. Two is because they do not care about the well-being of the people who work with them. Demons do. Lena has tried tramadol. I've never heard of that. For very specific rituals, but wouldn't recommend anything more than a glass of wine. Should be enough just to test the waters. Yeah, that's fair. Didn't I have a short about calling Lucifuge or Focale for assistance with the chakras? Yes. And I released that same selection of chants in the Compendium of Lucifuge from Become a Living God. How helpful how helpful is the Sinister Rite of Abraxas for beginners? just as helpful as it is for anybody else. I've heard it's very, very helpful. People really like it. Shit, a beginner might have more to gain from outside help than an advanced practitioner, if anything. Anyways, that's all for now. I'm going to go ahead and call it here and perform the Negrescent Ritual of Beauty for one of my clients. Have a great night and enjoy your immortality. Before I go, I don't know anything about Chinese astrology. Astrology is a big weak point.